Welcome to the 90s and the Hong Kong New Wave. Amazing, but what the devil is that? It was a return to period settings, patriotic themes, and national heroes, cultivated by auteur directors, new stars, and advanced filming techniques. The whole thing was kicked off by one of the greatest kung fu films ever made. Big statement? You're damn right. Join us as we prove it. This is the story of Once Upon a Time in China. Welcome to Jake on Film, exploring the outer edges of the film universe.
Welcome to tumultuous turn-of-the-century Fatsan, located in southern China. Western influence is growing, with American and British ships a permanent fixture. The commander of the Black Flag Militia, a real-life organisation that fought for Chinese independence, makes his trusted friend, Wong Fei Hung, Jet Li, its leader, while he departs for Vietnam to fight the French.
Who is this Wong Fei Hung character?
He was a real-life martial artist and healer that lived in southern China at the start of the 20th century. Through his practice of Gar Kung Fu and his prominence during China's revolutionary period, he became a folk hero equivalent to the likes of Robin Hood. He was most famously played by Kwan in over 70 films and a TV series. Then, a very different version of the character was displayed in Drunken Master by Jackie Chan. This was the first time a younger, stoic version of Wong was featured as the protagonist. Got it? Good. Back we go. 13th Aunt, a brilliant Rosamund Kwan, grew up with Wong and has returned from England to try and spark a romance with him. Don't worry, they aren't blood related, it's more of a formal title. He has other things on his mind, however, namely acting as a go-between for Chinese citizens, the governor, and foreign powers. He also runs Po Chi Lam Medical Clinic, alongside students Butcher Wing, a real-life figure played by Ken Cheung, previously portrayed by Sammo Hung in Magnificent Butcher, and Buk Tu So, Jackie Chung. Meanwhile, wannabe actor and opera dog's body Learn Foon, Yuen Bu, invites the wrath of a nasty set of gangsters. After refusing to pay protection money, Wong attempts to bring them to justice, but it only makes things worse as they team up with the evil American, Mr. Jackson. Jonathan Isgar, having the time of his life here.
Who is this Wong Fei Hung? The devil?
Despite promising a better life for Chinese citizens in the US, in practice, he is enslaving them on his ship. After Mr. Jackson attempts to kill Wong at an opera performance, Foon is fired. Dejected and in need of a mentor, he turns to a destitute street performer called Iron Vest, Yan Shi Kwan. He is the only person who can match Wong in martial skill, and is recruited by the gangsters, who have kidnapped 13th Aunt, to be sold into slavery on Mr. Jackson's ship. Wong Fei Hung and his disciples must rescue her and put an end to the exploitation of the Chinese people. What strikes you the most about Once Upon a Time in China is the rich world created by director Tsui Hark. Despite obvious use of sets, Fatsan feels lived in and authentic. This is achieved by use of crane shots, lighting, and multiple characters, all serving to flesh out the environment. Little details impact a lot, such as Foon showing a deep connection to Iron Vest, despite turning against his evil tendencies. It's a wonderfully simple display of the bond between master and student.
Who is this Tsui Hark?
He was born in Vietnam but studied film in the US before becoming part of the Hong Kong New Wave. He loves to mix genres, play with the camera, and surprise the audience. His most famous film, up until '91, was the insane fantasy mashup, Zoo, Warriors from the Magic Mountain, also starring Yuen Bu. He would go on to direct 3 more films in this series, then work in America on some hilarious Van Damme films, before coming back to China. Despite some comedic moments, the film is much more serious in tone than the majority of 80s Hong Kong efforts. The themes weigh heavily on nationalism and Chinese pride, and is almost elegiac at times. Jet Li is brilliant as Master Wong, appearing heroic but vulnerable, and performs the action well, despite being doubled for a lot of the movements, as he was reportedly injured on set. The action is plentiful and brilliantly handled by the Yen clan, which consists of Yuen Woo Ping's multiple brothers. It features loads of traditional forms alongside jumping kicks and wire work. This style would influence many films to come, and would ultimately be the kind of action employed on The Matrix.
Who is this Jet Li?
He was born in Beijing in 1963, then became a wushu champion at 12. Wushu is a national sport in China. It consists of kung fu movements and acrobatics, but is non-combative. This lent itself well to martial arts choreography, with his debut film, 1982's Shaolin Temple, showing off his unique strength and speed. He would go on to play other folk heroes, such as Fong Sai-yog, due to his likeable presence. And of course, he's most well known for US productions, like Romeo Must Die. There are many good films that try to emulate this formula, with the film's sequel coming the closest. With a combination of great characters, a meaty setting, weighty themes, and action that gets the balance between realism and fantasy just right, hasn't been beaten. If Once Upon a Time in China isn't the best kung fu film ever made, it's certainly in the conversation. If you're lost in the crazy ether that is the film universe, Jake on Film is here to give you a hand. Until next time, keep watching. Do join us next time as we go from Kung Fu to Gun Fu.